Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. So this week I celebrated my 5-year Booktube anniversary, however you want to say it. It's kind of insane to think about. I can't believe I've been doing this for 5 years. So in honor of that, I thought I would do the Not a Booktube Newbie Tag. I believe that's what it's called. I was tagged by Nezel. I will have a link to her video down below as well as to the creator's video as always. I only do tags like once a year, so this might be it, just because I'm bad at doing them. But it felt like, you know, an appropriate one to do on my 5-year anniversary, because I am definitely not a Booktube newbie anymore. So question number 1 is, how old is your channel? And obviously I just said it's 5 years old. Question number 2 is, what are your favorite videos to make? And that is definitely like book reviews or book discussions. The reason why I started a Booktube channel, well, one of many reasons why I started a Booktube channel is because I wanted to talk about books with people. So I love doing book reviews, even though they aren't necessarily the most popular ones, because I feel like the discussion on those videos are always the best ones. I always love like discussions as well, again, because the comments are always so strong on those. So yeah, probably discussions and book reviews are definitely my top 2. Question number 3 is, what is one piece of advice you would give to someone wanting to join Booktube? I'm going to cheat and give 30 pieces of advice. First one is to just do it. I know that's not a very helpful piece of advice, but I feel like it's the most practical. I feel like I talk to a lot of people who say that they're like scared of doing Booktube, they don't think they're going to be very good at it, etc., etc. One, there's no reason to be afraid because you can always make the videos, and if no one sees them, you know, you have nothing to be embarrassed about. But honestly, the community is super welcoming and open, and we are very much aware of the fact that, you know, not everyone has like the best quality camera or the best lighting setup or anything like that. So I feel like we're really forgiving of things that you might not necessarily be forgiven for in other communities. So as long as you are like passionate and enthusiastic about books, I feel like you'll be accepted into the community. The other 2 pieces of advice that I would give that are more like practical pieces of advice are just make sure that you're heard in your videos. I feel like a lot of people, when they're first starting off, this was definitely true of me, is like you talk kind of quietly because you might be in a house or like an apartment or something with other people. So that's like slightly awkward when you are like having that conversation like with yourself, sort of. If you're talking a little quietly, maybe try to go into editing and increase your volumes a little bit, because if you can't hear you, it's kind of useless. The other thing is just to make sure that you have relatively decent lighting. Again, it doesn't have to be anything professional. Just be like near a window, or just make sure there's lamps in like appropriate places so that way you can be seen, because I mean, YouTube is both a visual and audio medium, so those are 2 pretty big things. But I think that as long as it's halfway decent, it doesn't even have to be a great camera, just be relatively well lit and be heard, and you'll find your place here in this community. Question number 4 is, since joining, have you encountered any unforeseen challenges? Which I thought this question was really funny, because isn't every challenge an unforeseen challenge when you're first starting off in something new? But yeah, there are a lot of things I had to figure out. When I started my channel, obviously it was in May, so I didn't think about lighting until it was too late. Like once it started getting into the winter months and I started realizing I didn't have natural light anymore, I had to figure out how to properly light myself, and then eventually I learned how to color correct or buy proper light bulbs so I wasn't extremely yellow. Those early videos are real yellow. Yeah, things like sound, I didn't realize how much I would have to project my voice to be able to be heard. It wasn't until recently though that I started using like an external mic to record with in order to make my sound quality better. And then the other one was just the fact that you are going to want to read all of the things, because everyone's always talking about books and everyone always talks about them so passionately, and you're like, oh man, I definitely want to read that book, and then you have a TBR pile that's like 500 books long because you were just out buying all of the books that everyone's always talking about. So learning how to control and curb that instinct to just buy immediately every book that everyone is talking about, and to show some restraint in what I'm reading and trying out, and also sort of like having some sort of discernment in terms of like knowing my own tastes and knowing other people's tastes, so that way I will know whether or not that's a book I will actually like, or whether it's a book that I only want to pick up because of the hype. Question number 5 is, what is your favorite book or series that you read because of Booktube? And this was a little bit difficult to answer because I feel like so much of my reading is now influenced by Booktube. It's hard to distinguish ones that I would have not read if it wasn't for Booktube. These are books that I feel like I didn't really hear about anywhere else except on Booktube, and I love them. So the three that I have, two of them are from Jenny from Adultish Books, and one of them I think was from Brooklyn. The first one is The Enchanted by Renee Denfeld. I still don't hear people talking about this one as much as I think it deserves to be talked about. That is a 5-star book for me, and I am so grateful that I read it. The second one is Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. That's one where it's a little bit borderline. Like, I feel like now I'm aware of that book because Jenny, as well as other people, started reading that book and recommending it. And also Jenny sort of like harasses everyone into reading that book. But then after that point, I felt like I started hearing about it at other places. So that's one that's sort of borderline for me of I might have picked it up even if I wasn't on Booktube. The third one is The Unseen World by Liz Moore. And I know for a fact that I never would have heard of this book or picked this one up if it wasn't for Booktube. And I feel like now I'm recommending it to people and I'm starting to see it sort of like spread out into the world a little bit more. Number 6 is what is your favorite aspect of Booktube? And it's definitely the people. I mean, I don't know how you answer this question and not say the people. This community is amazing, even though there is some like conflicts and drama on occasion. Like, I feel like overall you can find your people here. Like, you can find other people here who like similar things that you do, who read similarly than you do, and having those discussions and just having people to share these experiences with. Like, few things make me happier than reading a book and then talking about it on camera and then having you guys sort of talk back at me or comment at me with your own reactions, whether or not you agreed with me or not. Like, I love hearing feedback in the sense of just even a differing opinion. Like, I love that conversation that we get to have here in this community. There's some people who deal with trolls and things like that, but I feel like I've had to deal with so few trolls. I like to say it's because I'm real boring, and so none of the trolls know what to do with me because they have no interest in dealing with my channel. Like, I can count on one hand the number of like mean or rude comments I've gotten in the 5 years that I've been on YouTube, which is kind of unheard of for YouTube. So yeah, I honestly, like, the community that's here on my channel and on Booktube in general is amazing, and it's definitely the thing that keeps me keep making videos. Number 7 is want to spread the Booktube love, give a newbie a shout out. So this is where I admit that I haven't been exploring Booktube as much as I used to. I blame this completely on just like life situations, and you know, the new job has me watching less YouTube than I used to. So unfortunately, I don't have a long list of recommendations. Like, I feel like I have like 6 videos saved on YouTube that are just like shout out videos because I need to have time to sit down and watch them so I can discover new people. But I haven't yet, so I'm really bad at this. But I do have one recommendation. It's Insert Literary Pun. I believe she's been making videos for around a year or maybe a little bit less than a year. She doesn't have very many subscribers. I mean, at least relative to me. I believe she has over 1,000, but I don't know if she's even over 2,000 yet. But I think she makes absolutely fantastic book reviews. She is so smart, and her reviews are so well thought out and so well put together. I love them so much, and I think that if you like literary fiction, she also reads, I believe, a little bit of nonfiction as well. She is definitely a channel worth checking out. She is just top-notch when it comes to her reviews. Oh, it's fantastic. And then question number 8 is who do you tag? And as always, since I'm always the last person to do tags because I just never do tags, I tag everyone. If you want to make this video, consider yourself tagged, because I have no idea who has and hasn't done this yet. So yeah, that's everything that I have for this video. Since it is my 5-year anniversary, I do want to be a little bit sappy and just say thank you to everyone who has watched and subscribed and commented and liked or lurked or whatever it is that you are doing. Whether you've been here all 5 years or you just found me today, just thank you so much for the support and just everything. Like, honestly, joining Booktube was an actual life-changing event for me, and I'm grateful for all of you guys. Oh man, I wasn't expecting that. All right, so that's cue to wrap it up. So yeah, that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching.